Chapter 10. Living Creatures, Exploring Their Characteristics. Overview. This chapter explains the characteristics of living organisms and how they differ from non-living things. It also explores the life cycles of plants, mosquitoes, and frogs, showcasing growth and transformation in nature. We are surrounded by an incredible variety of living creatures, from the tiny ants that scurry across the ground to the giant elephants roaming the savannah. Now, we will explore what makes these creatures living and learn about the common characteristics that all living organisms share. We will also look at how living things differ from non-living things and investigate the amazing diversity of life forms on Earth. What are living creatures? Living creatures, also known as organisms, are entities that have life. They include plants, animals, and microorganisms like bacteria. All living organisms share certain characteristics that distinguish them from non-living things. These characteristics are 1. Movement. While it might be obvious that animals move, did you know plants also move? Though plants do not move from one place to another like animals, they grow toward sunlight and their roots move downward into the soil. 2. Reproduction. Living things have the ability to reproduce and create offspring. This is how species continue to exist. Some reproduce through seeds or eggs, while others, like bacteria, reproduce by dividing into two. 3. Response to stimuli. All living things respond to changes in their environment. A plant bends toward the light and we blink when something suddenly comes near our eyes. For example, a plant touch-me-not, Mimosa pudica, closes its leaves when touched. 4. Nutrition. Living organisms need food to grow and stay healthy. Plants make their own food through photosynthesis, while animals eat plants or other animals. 5. Growth. All living creatures grow and develop over time. A seed grows into a plant, a kitten into a cat, and a tadpole into a frog. Activity 1. What differences do we see between the young ones and the adults in the picture shown below? 6. Respiration. Respiration is how living things get energy from food. Animals breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, while plants take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen during photosynthesis. 7. Excretion. Every living organism produces waste materials that need to be removed from their body. This process is called excretion. For example, humans excrete urine and plants get rid of extra water through transpiration. Activity 2. Take a transparent plastic bag. Tie it over a leaf of a plant as shown in the figure below. Observe it after 6 to 7 hours. What do you observe? You will see that droplets of water are collected on the inside of the bag. This shows that plants excrete water in the form of water vapor. Differences between living and non-living things. It's important to understand the differences between living and non-living things. While living creatures grow, move and reproduce, non-living things do not. For example, a rock may change its shape if it is eroded by wind or water, but it does not grow or move by itself. Similarly, a chair or a table is non-living because it cannot breathe, reproduce, or respond to stimuli. The key distinction is that living things possess the characteristics we discussed above, while non-living things do not. Types of living creatures. Living creatures can be broadly classified into three major groups. 1. Animals. Animals can be further classified into two main groups. A. Vertebrates. Animals with a backbone, such as fish, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and mammals. B. Invertebrates. Animals without a backbone, such as insects, spiders, and worms. 2. Plants. Plants are living organisms that produce their own food through photosynthesis. They come in many forms, from tiny mosses to towering trees. 3. Microorganisms. These are tiny living creatures that are too small to be seen with the naked eye. They include bacteria, fungi, and some types of algae. Even though they are small, microorganisms play a crucial role in maintaining life on Earth. Important conditions for germination of a seed. Germination is the process by which a seed develops into a new plant. For a seed to germinate, it requires certain essential conditions without which the process cannot occur. The main conditions for seed germination are: water. Water is crucial for germination because it activates the enzymes that trigger the growth process. When a seed absorbs water, it swells and the seed coat softens, allowing the embryo inside the seed to start growing. This process is known as imbibition. Oxygen. Seeds need oxygen to carry out cellular respiration, a process that provides the energy required for growth. Oxygen from the surrounding air enters the seed through tiny pores in the seed coat. In waterlogged or compact soil, the lack of oxygen can prevent germination. Suitable temperature. Most seeds require a specific temperature range to germinate. Generally, seeds germinate best in mild to warm temperatures, between 20 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, depending on the type of plant. Extreme temperatures, either too cold or too hot, can hinder germination. Light or darkness. Some seeds require light to germinate, while others need darkness. For example, lettuce seeds require light, while onion seeds germinate better in the dark. The requirement for light varies depending on the species. These essential conditions ensure that the seed has the right environment to begin the complex process of growth, eventually sprouting into a new plant. Without these factors, the seed remains dormant and will not develop further. Life cycle of a plant. The life cycle of a plant is a fascinating journey that begins with a seed and ends with the formation of new seeds for the next generation. Plants undergo several stages in their life cycle, and each stage is essential for the survival and reproduction of the plant species. The major stages of a plant's life cycle are explained further. The life cycle of a plant begins with a seed. A seed contains a small embryo, the young plant, along with stored nutrients, all protected by a tough outer coat called the seed coat. Seeds remain dormant, inactive, until they encounter favorable conditions like moisture, suitable temperature, and oxygen. Germination, as studied earlier, is the process in which the seed begins to sprout and grow into a new plant. When the seed absorbs water, it swells and the seed coat breaks open. The embryo inside the seed begins to grow. The first structure to emerge is the root, which anchors the plant and starts absorbing water and nutrients from the soil. Soon, a shoot emerges and grows upward towards the light. Once the shoot emerges from the soil, it grows into a small plant known as a seedling. At this stage, the plant develops leaves that begin the process of photosynthesis. Here the plant uses sunlight, carbon dioxide and water to make its food. The seedling grows quickly, developing more roots, stems and leaves. As the seedling grows, it matures into an adult plant. The adult plant has a fully developed root system, stems and leaves. At this stage, the plant is able to produce flowers. When the plant reaches maturity, it produces flowers that change into fruits. The fruit contains seeds which give rise to a new generation of the plant. This process from a seed to a plant and then to the next generation of seeds is known as the life cycle of a plant. If a plant stops growing even after the availability of all the necessary conditions, the plant is considered dead. Life cycle of a mosquito. Mosquitoes, like all insects, go through several distinct stages in their life cycle. These stages represent the transformation of the mosquito from an egg to an adult. Understanding the mosquito life cycle is essential for controlling mosquito populations and preventing the spread of diseases like malaria and dengue fever. The life cycle of a mosquito consists of 4 main stages: egg, larva, pupa and adult. 1. Egg stage. The mosquito life cycle begins when a female mosquito lays eggs. Female mosquitoes typically lay their eggs on the surface of stagnant water, such as ponds, puddles, or containers filled with water. Some species lay eggs in clusters called rafts, while others lay individual eggs. Eggs need water to survive and hatch. Depending on the species and environmental conditions, eggs can hatch within 1 to 3 days or remain dormant for months until conditions are suitable, example, when water is present. 2. Larva stage. After the eggs hatch, mosquito larvae emerge. This stage is also known as the wriggler stage because the larvae wriggle through the water. The larvae are aquatic and live in water, feeding on organic matter, algae and microorganisms. 3. Pupa stage. After the larvas, a pupa is formed, a stage sometimes called the tumbler stage due to the tumbling motion the pupa makes when disturbed. The pupa is still aquatic and rests near the surface of the water, but it does not feed during this stage. 4. Adult mosquito stage. After completing its development inside the pupa, the adult mosquito emerges. The adult mosquito climbs out of the water and rests on the water's surface while its body and wings dry and harden. Life cycle of a frog. The life cycle of a frog is a remarkable example of metamorphosis, where the animal undergoes a series of distinct changes from an egg to an adult frog. This process consists of 4 main stages: egg, tadpole, froglet and adult frog. Each stage shows significant physical transformations as the frog develops and adapts to its changing environment. 1. Egg stage. The frog life cycle begins when the female frog lays eggs in water. Most frogs lay their eggs in clusters called spawn, often in ponds, lakes or other bodies of water. The eggs are usually surrounded by a jelly-like substance that provides protection and keeps them moist. 2. Tadpole stage. When the eggs hatch, they release tadpoles, which are the larval form of frogs. Tadpoles live entirely in water and have several characteristics that make them suited to an aquatic life. Tadpoles have a long tail and lack legs. They move by wiggling their tails and use gills to breathe underwater. As they grow, their internal organs begin to develop, preparing them for the next stage of life. 3. Froglet stage. As tadpoles continue to grow, they start to undergo significant physical changes that transform them into froglets, a young frog with some adult features. During this stage, the tadpole begins to develop hind legs first, followed by front legs. Their gills are replaced by lungs, allowing them to breathe air. As the froglet's body changes, it begins to eat more varied food, including small insects. Their tail starts to shrink as it is absorbed into their body, providing energy for growth. 4. Adult frog stage. The final stage of the frog's life cycle is the adult frog. By this time, the frog has fully developed lungs, legs and other features needed for life on land. Adult frogs have no tail, well-developed legs for jumping and lungs for breathing air. They feed on insects, worms and other small creatures. Adult frogs are amphibious, meaning they can live both in water and on land. Scientific words. Nodes. The part of the stem from where the branches and leaves grow. Scurry. To move quickly or hastily. Savanna. A flat, grassy plain in tropical or subtropical regions with few trees. Diversity. The state of having a range of different things or people, often referring to variety in species, cultures, or ideas. Entities. individual things, beings or organizations that exist as independent units. Offspring. The young born of living organisms, either animals or plants. Stimuli. Plural of stimulus refers to things that provoke a response or reaction in a living organism, such as light, heat, sound, or touch. Transpiration. The process by which plants release water vapor into the atmosphere through tiny openings in their leaves called stomata. Eroded, worn away by natural forces like wind, water, or ice. Germination. The process by which a seed develops into a new plant after conditions like water, warmth, and light become favorable. Imbibition. The process by which a seed absorbs water, leading to its swelling and eventually initiating germination. Waterlogged, soaked or saturated with water to the point where it becomes difficult for plants to grow due to lack of air in the soil. Sprouting. The process by which a seed begins to grow and produce a shoot, typically after germination. Dormant. Inactive or in a resting state, often used to describe seeds that are temporarily not growing or active, usually due to environmental conditions. Wriggle. To move with short, quick, twisting motions, like a worm or snake. Wiggling. To move or cause to move with small, irregular, twisting or turning movements. Quick recall. Resources are substances or materials that are useful to humans and can fulfill our needs. They can be natural, air, water, soil, or man-made, buildings, machines. Resources obtained from nature, classified into renewable, solar energy, wind energy, and non-renewable resources, fossil fuels, minerals. Resources that are created through human efforts, such as technology, infrastructure, and machinery. Using resources in a way that does not compromise the ability of future generations to meet their needs. Practices like recycling, reducing waste and conserving water help in sustainable resource management. It is essential to conserve resources to prevent depletion, especially for non-renewable resources like coal, oil, and natural gas. Awareness campaigns and responsible consumption are key strategies for resource conservation. The process from a seed to a plant and then to the next generation of seeds is known as the life cycle of a plant. Mosquitoes pass through the stages of egg, larva, pupa, and adult. The life cycle of frogs include eggs, tadpoles, froglets, and adult frog. Like, share, and subscribe.